Today we are rebuilding Aston Villa. Not the best starts in the Premier League under Steven Gerrard.
No, well, we had a feeling that they would struggle with losing Grealish, didn't we?
Yeah.
But worse than I thought they was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he started off well.
Yeah.
But then it obviously tailed off quite badly, and now he has a worse record than Gary Neville at Valencia. And not enough people are talking about it, in my opinion. Jamie Carragher protects him.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Cracks me up. But anyway, we are going to rebuild them today in 5 years. Starting off with this season, we've got the updated database with all the transfers, but just not a year ahead, because I'm not sure how to do that. So we do have the transfers like Kerr Smith, Lucas Digne, Callum Chambers. We got Danny Ings, of course, who's joined us. Den Donker, which I believe was a very late deal in this transfer window.
Yeah.
So we've got all the players there from this previous transfer window in the door, but I haven't signed anybody else because there simply was not a lot of money. Only £3.4 million that I had to play around with. And I thought, I'm not going to get a player for that price. No. There's no point in even looking. So there we go. That's obviously what we are working with, as well as the players already at the club. So what are we looking like tactically? Let's take a look then. We have gone for a Villa Christmas tree. Reason for it, now we are playing Leon Bailey out of position, but I don't think we had the depth to play a lot of wingers, because if Leon Bailey and Coutinho got injured, which I think they've both got a fairly reasonable amount of injury proneness to them, then we won't have any options out of the wings. No. So obviously with this simulating situation, we won't be able to change throughout the season. I would rather just play him in that role, which he is capable of doing, where we have abundance of players to play in that centre attacking midfield role. He's good enough to play there too. Very similar centre midfield to the one we had on the Fenerbahce save, with 2 attacking centre midfielders with 1 defensive. Kind of liked it. Yeah. So I went with it again.
Done well there, didn't it?
It did. So inverted wing backs helping out the defensive side of things. We've got the likes of Kamara who can play there, John McGinn, Douglas Luiz and Den Donker, all capable of playing that more holding role in the centre of midfield. So that's what we're looking like right now. Schedule wise, and we've played a few games. We started off, we beat the best club in the world 3-1 at Old Trafford. Leon Bailey with a hat-trick as well after Ronaldo scored in the 3rd minute.
I ain't saying nothing.
Norwich, we beat them 3-0 as well. Ollie Watkins got a couple of goals with Den Donker get another one. Yeah, I like him. Reading 4-0. Obviously, they're in the Championship. Yeah. And then we come up against Erling Haaland and Man City, the big boys, yeah. And Haaland smashed in 2, which was the winners.
Who scored the first goal, though.
And Jack Grealish got one as well. So Leon Bailey gave us the lead in the first half. It took until the 71st minute before they scored. We conceded 3. I still think that's the right game for us, though. Leon Bailey actually got injured in that game as well, which is disappointing. Of course, we're not in Europe or anything like that, so we don't have to worry about that. For now, hopefully, the target is we get into Europe.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What do you think is the overall target for 5 years? Where should we end? Where should we be leaving? Top 6?
Hopefully get them into the top 6.
Yeah.
Good enough squad to be pushing for the next level.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think. And possibly we've won something.
Yeah. Let's take a look quickly at the last time that they have won something, because I don't remember the last time Villa have won anything. So Carabao Cup was 96. Yeah. FA Cup 1957.
The Carabao Cup is the league, as we would know it.
The League Cup.
Is the League Cup. Aston Villa was the first team ever to win that.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Do you think we should still have it?
Yes.
Yeah? I don't. I hate it.
You hate it, but I think what it is now is there's so many games being played that they treat it as we'll stick the reserves in for it. But I still like seeing the young lads coming through and playing in the cup games. And not only that, it gives the lower teams in that little bit of a chance when they come up against the likes of Man City and they're playing their second team. Well, not Man City. Man City's second team is the first team as well.
Yeah, yeah.
When they play against like some Spurs, they'll put a few of the second players in and all that. Gives that team a little bit of a chance. You know, like of Argo when they went to Liverpool, took Liverpool on. They took Chelsea on.
Yeah.
We nearly beat them. You know?
I just can't stand that cup. I seen something the other day where, you know, that Todd Bowley, the new Chelsea owner, mentioned about doing the North versus South to raise money for the pyramid and everything. Yeah, I mean, if it actually went to the pyramid, then fair enough. Yeah. Like, I'd probably go for it. But somebody said a suggestion, scrap the League Cup and do it then. Yeah. And I thought, do you know what? I wouldn't mind that, as long as the money went in the proper, correct place. Like, it actually went to the pyramid and not straight to the pockets of the big owners. But yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since they have won something, so winning something would be great.
I'm in the UEFA Champions League there. I can remember that game.
Yeah, 1982.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken about this game before, haven't we? Well, I have, anyway. It's to do with, it was a 1-0 Peter with scored the only goal against Bayern Munich, I think it was.
Yeah.
But the game was more only known mainly for the change of goalkeeper after 10 minutes. The goalkeeper was called Nigel Spink, and he'd come on, and it was only his second game for the first team.
Yeah.
and he played absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
And the saves that he was pulling off, I would be surprised if he wasn't man of the match.
Yeah.
But Villa went on and won 1-0, so it was
won a European Cup.
Yeah.
I do think it's quite surprising how many leagues they have won. Obviously, 1981 was the last time they won it.
Yeah.
I mean, before then, it was 1910. But they've won a lot of leagues.
Yeah.
It is surprising. It's a very old club, obviously, with a lot of history.
Well, when they started the FA,
they were one of the founding members, weren't they?
One of the founding members, yeah. There was only 12, and they were one of them.
Yeah. All right, then, let's simulate this first season and see what we can do in this first season. First season then, and 6th place.
Well, there we go.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Last game of the season as well is where we dropped off from Frank Lampard's Everton.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, if you take a look at that little red arrow. And Man City won the league on the very last day of the season as well, above Liverpool.
Apart from the Man United position, that's quite believable, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because usually we'd be top, wouldn't it? Villa finished it. We had a bad end of the season as well.
We could have
3 bad results.
Higher, can we?
Only 1 win in our last 5. We could have been top 4 possibly if we didn't lose so many games there. We could have been. We were probably on for top 4 until that final 5 games. We can probably see that through past positions. Aston Villa, so
we dropped off badly.
We're 4th there with about 5 or 6 games left, and probably right behind them. Yeah. Within striking range at that point before dropping off down to 6th.
So far,
first season. We're only building, aren't we? So that's a good start to begin with. Nice. We got UEFA Europa League stuff last season. Where's Tottenham? Oh, they're all the way down in 11th. Never mind. Palace get relegated. They always get relegated. I don't understand it. They got such a good team.
We're saying about always. Look at Leeds. Leeds have won something.
Leeds are always really good stuff.
Videos. Leeds always win something.
They might not have won something. They're in the EC2.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so they qualify for the EC2.
Yeah.
They might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's take a look then and see what else we have done this season, where we finished in the cups. Carabao Cup winners. I like the League Cup. I've always liked the League Cup. It's one of my favourite trophies to win. There was people saying abolish it. No, get out. It's got a lot of history.
Yeah, we got the quarterfinals of the FA Cup as
well.
Yeah,
we beat Watford in the final. What an outstanding final that would have been. The whole nation would have tuned in to watch that. Watford versus Aston Villa in the League Cup final.
Any final that Watford get to, I hope they lose.
Just because of what they did to Argyle.
Yeah,
I'm not
Stop
surprised.
Argyle from getting to the final.
We also stopped Man City winning 5 in a row of the League Cup. That just shows how pointless the trophy is. Not this year, though. Not this year. João Pedro scored in the 3rd minute. Philip Coutinho in the 17th, and Leon Bailey got himself a brace, scoring both the winner and the 3rd with a penalty in the 78th. Fantastic stuff. Gotta be happy with that, unless you're not a fan of the League Cup, which both of us are. So we are. Fine. Squad-wise then, where did the goals come from this season? Well, Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings shared the goals. Ollie Watkins played a lot less from starting, but he still scored 19, just like Danny Ings. Leon Bailey from that shallow striker. I like Danny Ings. I always felt like he was just so unlucky at Liverpool because of the injuries.
Yeah, definitely.
Really do feel sorry for him. But Leon Bailey, 17 goals from that shallow striker role. Gotta be happy with that. And Buendia, who probably played alongside and quite often played and scored 12 goals there. Douglas Luiz, 10 assists. Matty Cash, 10 assists. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Very good. Yeah. Very good indeed. How much transfer budget have we been given? 35 million.
That's a bit better.
No, it's not a lot. That's one player, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but you've got to think of not a rich club, really, are we?
Yes, they are. They're one of the richest in the league.
You're right. I remember reading that now. Yeah.
They are I think now it goes Newcastle, Man City, Villa. But before Newcastle, they were second. They are one of the richest in the league.
Well, what are we going to do? They're starting to support us then, aren't they? The first they didn't give us much. We've got into the top 6. Now start giving us a bit of money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious. I want your guys' opinions, because next version of the FM is just been announced, by the way. If you use my code OMEGA on 2game.com, you get 5% off, plus it's cheaper than buying it on Steam, so it's worth getting it. I'll put it down in the link in the description, because you can pre-order it now should you wish to, and everybody's started using it already, so thank you, because I do actually get a bit of a cut of it. But as I was saying, with the new game coming out, they have the ability to change these things. Now, what I found very interesting this season, just gone with the transfer window, was the amount of money that not just the top 6 were spending, but all of the Premier League were spending. Nottingham Forest spending over 120 million.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah. If Football Manager is trying to be realistic, do you want to see that implemented into the game or not?
They've got to, haven't they?
If it's going to be realistic, then I think so.
If a team like Forest can spend that amount of money, and I remember when I was telling you that, they were one of the top 3 in Europe spending that amount of money.
It was only Barcelona, Chelsea, and Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. I mean, I know Man United came through
at the end of it, with Anthony and Casemiro, wasn't it?
But, if teams like Nottingham Forest could spend that type of money to make sure they stay in the Premier League, League, then the Football Manager's got to make sure that they're in line with that.
Because Villa spent, if you take a look, obviously I spent nothing. Villa spent 149 million across the season and the summer. So 150 million, and we've only been given 35.
Yeah.
And we are the third richest. To me, that's not realistic.
You're right with it, I suppose, so yeah.
You know, I was expecting at least £50 million with a good wage budget. That's peanuts,
especially
really.
seeing that we put them into the top 6. So
we've got European football. That is one player, and not even one player to improve us. Really,
that's a squad player.
That's a squad player. That doesn't really improve us. I can't think of somebody who'd be that cheap to improve our first 11. But I'll stop my moaning and we'll go crack on to season number 2. Now we do have a player on the out, and I've actually sold Douglas Luiz to Spurs, which is quite interesting when you consider what happened in the summer transfer window. I don't know if you've seen it, you might just not remember it, but this man was the guy who was seen leaving his house on deadline day on his way to Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get a deal done. So now he's gone to Spurs instead. Boy. Yeah. What a shame.
He got himself to London eventually.
Yeah, he ended up on the worst side of North London. Never mind. I know this guy quite a lot because his missus plays for Aston Villa, and she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's very nice. Alicia Lehman, I think she's called. Danish international, but they even had her on like Soccer AM, and it was just so obvious that they had her on because she was like really attractive.
Yeah.
So yeah, Douglas Luiz, good player. But when they come in offering £43 million with a transfer budget that we were only given,
gotta take it.
Yeah, we had to. He did play 32 games last season though, so it is a position we need to replace.
Yeah.
And I have done that. And I have weakened the team around us. Thomas Souček.
I like him.
Yeah, I like him a lot. From West Ham, and what's even better is in the game, maybe I'm not in real life, Douglas Luiz is a very talented player, and I don't know, Thomas Souček sometimes is a bit inconsistent, but in the game, Thomas Souček is one of the best midfielders, and he's one of my favourites. We've seen what he did, the damage he did in the West Ham rebuild. I think he was actually top scorer as a midfielder, which is mental. So I'm bringing him in. £40 million, so like for like the same amount of money, bringing him in.
Hit the ground running.
2 goals in 4 games already and a man of the match. Oh, hello, Thomas. He's not the only player we signed. We also signed Joachim Andersen from relegated Crystal Palace. Danish centre-back. I don't know whether he'll start because we got a couple of really good ones, but this is exactly what I mean by we didn't have the money to buy a starting centre-back. I only had the money to buy somebody who
he's a good squad player, though, isn't he?
Yeah. So I want Thomas Souček playing on this left-hand side because I've nailed in where I want the corners, or who wants to be attacking corners. And if you take a look at Thomas Souček, he's very good at attacking corners, because if we go here, we can see he has jumping reach of 17, strength of 16, heading of 18, great off the ball, great bravery, good decision making. He's just so good at attacking corners, so I want him there doing just that. And Leon Bailey, of course, keeping him in that position there with this. So if we do go on to pick best 11, it will move players around like that. Obviously, it will be Buendia and Leon Bailey, or Coutinho and Leon Bailey, but that is what our assistant manager considers our best 11. So our signing of Joachim Andersen, he's not in the 2 centre-backs that we've got. Diego Carlos, who was a new signing from Sevilla, and Ezri Konsa, who's come on quite strong and developed quite well. But there we go, that's the team anyway. Schedule-wise then, we've played a lot of games. We defeated Arsenal in the first game of the season. Lovely stuff. 2-1 victory. Gabby Jesus only scored in the 90th minute as well, so we look comfortable. Leeds, we know how difficult they are. They scored in the 94th minute as well.
Unlucky as well,
yeah. But then the next 2 games we scored 4 goals in each. 4 goals against Fulham in a 4-2 win. Lovely stuff. Carlos Vinicius getting 2 goals for them, and a 4-1 win against Norwich with Leon Bailey scoring another hat-trick. Europa League, we are in it. Let's take a look at our group. Benfica, Ghent, and Lech Poznan. Of course, Lech Poznan was the inventors of the dance that Man City do, where they face the other way and they jump up and down. And you're like, no, it's the pitch is that way.
Yeah, but you seen a crap we're playing?
Yeah, that's true. That's why Man City do it, probably. Oh, yeah, we wish. They're an unbelievable team right now, aren't they?
Brilliant.
I must apologise, because I made a joke in the Fenerbahce one that Man City have no fans. And then I seen the average attendances for this season so far, and they are 4th above Liverpool.
Are they?
In average attendances.
Ooh.
So it's in fact Liverpool who have no fans. That's not going to trigger anybody, I'm sure of it.
No, coming from a Man United fan.
Okay, let's simulate this second season and see how
What are
we
we
get
going to
on.
do in Europe then? Are we going to qualify or what? We had a quick look to see who was there.
Well,
we didn't talk about it, did we?
Should do, come on.
Well, I'd hope we could.
Yeah, I mean, Ghent's okay. Lech Poznan, they're from Poland. We should be beating the team from Poland with the team that we've got.
I'll be disappointed if we don't win the grip.
Really? With Benfica? They got a great team to start off with.
Come on.
All right, okay. We'll see how we do then. Let's simulate the season. Second season, and we're in 6th place again. And we lost it on the last game of the season again. Against West Ham, we nicked Souček. Oh,
top
that's
three
disappointing.
just stayed the same, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, once again, we've only won 1 in the last 5. That's
have been
really disappointing. However, Dad, there's a Champions League qualification thing there.
That means we've won something?
No way. Winners of the Europa League.
Get
Come
in.
on. Man United in the final.
Oh, easy game in, wasn't it?
Wow, okay, fair enough. I mean, they had already qualified for the Champions League. They're doing us a favour. Buendia, Danny Ings scored in the 84th minute in a 2-0 victory. Cristiano Ronaldo was playing as well. No way is this Erik ten Hag because he's playing 4-4-2. Bielsa. What a shock. What a shock.
What are we going to say about that? What do we always say?
What language is he talking? That's mental. 4-4-2? No way.
We knocked us out of both cups.
Quarter-final and Carabao Cup by West Ham, and they got 5th place from us. That's mental, isn't it?
Lost everything to West Ham this
Yeah,
season.
that's so bad.
I'll take it, though.
Yeah, but I am seeing it.
win.
I did see it. I don't know whether you've seen it, but if you take a look at the top scorers here, Danny Ings is the top scorer of the league, but then it's Souček. The most goals this season, Dad, was from Thomas Souček with 34.
Get in.
A centre midfielder.
What a signing that was.
Yeah, and the reason why, because people will question, oh, it must be all just corner goals. No, when you've got 14 for finishing, great composure, and you're on centre midfield on attack with gets forward whenever possible, arrives late in opponent's area, there's so many goals from cutbacks, believe me.
What does that tell you? Anybody who plays Football Manager has got to make sure they buy this player and put him in his team.
Yeah, or a very similar type of player. If you've got a quality player like that, Harry Kane is very good in the centre attack midfield, in the centre midfield on attack role because of the exact same thing. If you train him with those player traits. But there we go. Buendia got a quite good return, 13 goals, 22 assists there. Coutinho got 17 assists. And Leon Bailey got a good amount of goals as well. So Danny Ings and Thomas Souček there with both 30 goals this season. Quite impressive from a team finishing in 6th place like Aston Villa. Next season, though, how much money? £54 million is better.
Getting better.
Just
Yeah.
not quite there. Okay.
Do you want me to give you a quick fact here?
Go on then.
1981, we won the league.
Yeah.
I think it was probably the last time we won the league.
It was, yeah.
Do you know we won it only using 14 players?
No. That's a mental stat.
7 of those players played in every single game of that season, but they only used 14 players.
Do you know what's really crazy about that is whoever will win the league this year would already have used more players than that in the first game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because of the 5-sub rule now.
Yeah, you go, yeah.
So that is crazy.
What a fact that is, isn't it?
Yeah. How unbelievable is that to make sure that they're fit all season? I mean, I know they didn't really use substitutes like that, and you played for a lot of injuries compared to what you would do now.
Yeah.
But that's still an amazing fact.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Well, all right then. Let's go for another season. See who we bring in. I should do a challenge now, really, shouldn't I? Where I sell all of my players other than 14 of them.
Yeah.
And see how far we got. That would be a difficult challenge, but no. Right, let's take a look at our transfers then. We're on to the next season. We have signed £42 million worth of players there, but we sold Anderson. He was unhappy, barely played.
Yeah, right.
So we let him go. As a replacement, though, I finally signed a player who I think will start games. I think he's quality. Ilya Zabarny. He is a young Ukrainian centre defender. On this game, he's only 21 years of age. We spent £40 million
looking
on
at that.
him.
He's 21 years of age and he's only got 32 caps.
32
That's very good, isn't it?
Yeah, and his attributes are phenomenal.
Yeah.
We spent £30 million on him. He's played 2 games, got 7.4 average rating already from centre-back. Really, really good player. He's not the only one that we signed, though. Sandri was also brought in from Santos as a centre midfielder. Really good player as well, Brazilian. Good potential on the game. The reason why we're seeing a lot of youngsters, by the way, is in the club vision. You can see that we have to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team, and we got panned for it the first couple of seasons because I wasn't doing that. So I made sure that I was doing that from now on, and we cannot sign players over the age of 30. So that's a couple of club visions there for Aston Villa. If you do decide to take them on, it's a good little youth to go.
Looking at the picture of the Villa Stadium there.
Yeah.
Villa Park, obviously. That stadium is old. I'm going to tell you a good fact here that's so good. I couldn't believe it when I read it. Was they had international matches at their 3 centuries. England played their first game there at 1899.
Yeah.
So obviously they played
Stadium
in the
was only
19th
2 years
century,
old. Yeah.
and then they played in the last
20th.
game they played there was 2005.
Yeah.
So for 3 centuries, England have played on that pitch.
Was Wembley built in the 1800s, or was it built in the 1900s? Because that might be the only stadium to have ever done that.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But that was something interesting I read. I couldn't believe it when I read it, and I tried to check up on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they played in 1899, England, one of the first games they played there.
Yeah, very iconic stadium as well, especially the Holt End. Very iconic for Aston Villa and English football in general. Now, over to the transfers again. Did I sign anybody before that? I think I might have. I did! We have a striker, Dad. Musa Barrow. £25 million we spent on him. The reason for it, both Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings, they're good, but they're not quick.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy adds a little bit of pace to us. 15 acceleration, 16 pace, great agility, but he's also quite tall as well. So got a good long shot on him, dribbling, first touch. He can play out on the wing should we go to wingers, but is obviously predominantly up front there. So adds something different to us, I think, with bringing him in. We're giving him the number 9. He wants to play up front. He only scored 7 goals last season for Bologna, but it's a tricky league to get a lot of goals, especially when you're in a team like Bologna who tend to get relegated every now and then, and 10 goals the season before that. We've played 2 so far. He hasn't scored yet, but we'll give him a bit more of a chance. But we did sell another player. Ollie Watkins has moved to Tottenham.
Good sign for Spurs.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that.
I said he ain't that fast. He does have 15 acceleration and 14 pace. It's still quite quick, to be fair.
Spurs have just taken him on the next level, though, wouldn't they?
Well, I'll tell you something. Spurs tried getting him the season before, and I rejected, and they come back again after, and they were very persistent, and they come in with £46 million. And I remember I clicked on Ollie Watkins' profile to see whether he was that good for £46 million, and I know there's something on the page. I don't know whether you can see it.
Oh yeah, he trained at Exeter, didn't he?
He came from Exeter City. Exeter City.
You're not good, is
No,
he?
and as Plymouvians, that made my decision very easy for me. So
get rid of him.
off he popped, and that is the main reason why I sold him.
Yeah.
So good decision, if you ask me. So there we go. That's obviously the transfers that we have made. Tactically, we've changed things. We've moved things around slightly. The instructions are still the same. But instead of going for the Christmas tree we had, we've dropped into a DM here from this position and moved one of the centre attacking midfielders onto the right-hand side to accommodate Leon Bailey, who is obviously very good from that right-hand side, and Buendia, who kind of likes it out there too. With Souček still in that position there, and we've got Barrow. I'm going to put my faith in him for this one season because Danny Ings is, I think he's 30 or 31. Yeah. I want to see what Musa Barrow can do given a 4-season campaign, because if I did quick pick it, I do believe he would go out of the team for Danny Ings, and Souček would go onto the right-hand side. I don't want him there. I want him playing on the left instead. That's what I want. But other than those 2 little changes, I think the team looks quite good starting off like that. Okay, let's take a look then, because we are in the Champions League this year, which was also one of the reasons why I changed it, bringing in a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, definitely you need to, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. So schedule-wise then, let's take a look. We have played 3 games so far. We played Liverpool in the Super Cup. We lost against them after extra time. It's not a bad result, to be honest. No. We're just a bit unfortunate here because we play Hull 5-0, great win against a newly promoted team. But then we play Liverpool again, and obviously they've done really well this season. We had a player sent off, our DM. He was sent off, and Darwin Nunez scored 2 goals, and Fabinho got 1 and 3-0 win. So I think we were a little bit unlucky in it. Our start of the season doesn't look that great because of those 2 Liverpool games.
Yeah.
But our Champions League group then, we've got Leverkusen, Roma, and Apoel from Cyprus. Thoughts on that one?
Second place beyond Roma.
Yeah, go through on that one. I'd like to think. I think we can definitely beat by Leverkusen. I'd like to see how far we get in that competition. Okay, well, let's simulate the 3rd season, see how we do. For some of you, it's probably about time that somebody got up close and personal with your balls. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Because we have a Manscaped product alert. Now, our friends at Manscaped have brought the Ultra Smooth package to Europe. And if you're looking for a closer shave, well, the Ultra Smooth package is the perfect set for you. First off, you can shave the bush with the Lawnmower 4.0, but then you get right down to the root using the Ultra Smooth package, because in this package you get 3 products. Inside you get the Crop Shaver Razor, the Crop Exfoliator, and the Crop Gel. So lads, you no longer have to borrow your partner's razor to get right down there. And of course, this comes with a 20% discount code when you use Omega at checkout at manscaped.com. I'm looking after your balls, boys. Should be grateful. Now, it's not your average razor either. I mean, come on, Manscaped, they never half-ass anything. It's smaller, it's thicker, it has a micro comb bar, because beach balls, they're supposed to be smooth. Of course, the code still works with the Performance Package 4.0 and everything that comes in with that. You must pick one up. If you haven't got one already, you get the t-shirt, the boxers, the lot. And of course, that all comes with 20% off using code Omega at checkout of manscaped.com. So pick up an ultra smooth package if you haven't got one. Pick up the Performance Package 4.0 if you haven't got one. There's a link at the top of the description. Thank you very much, Manscaped. Okay, third season, it's 6th place again.
Just because I said at the beginning of this video that I'd like to finish in the top 6 doesn't mean...
Oh. And for the third time running, we were knocked out of 5th spot. Yeah, Chelsea this time round. Both finishing on 69 points, you naughty boys. Look at that. Palace came back up, went straight back down again. Oh, that's very frustrating. Liverpool win the league ahead of Manchester United. Leeds are in 3rd. Leeds. Tottenham, though, managed to get top half. So well done. For some reason, the game really does not like Tottenham.
No, it
really doesn't. Erling Haaland got 35 goals this season, no surprise. Ronaldo is still here. That's astonishing. He's 39 years of age now. Fantastic stuff. Cristiano Ronaldo. We don't have any players there. We are finishing 6th place, so we have a Europa League spot next to our name. So I'd imagine we haven't won anything.
No, don't look like it.
Let's take a look then. Competitions.
Oh.
Runners up in the Carabao Cup. It's a good job we don't really care about that trophy, really, isn't it? First round knockout by PSG. So we finished 2nd in our group.
Yeah.
We qualified, we got 2nd.
Is Roma there? Yeah, Roma's there. That's in our group.
6-4 on aggregate against PSG. We give them a good go. Definitely give them a good go. So we got to be happy with that one. Let's take a look then at the group stage. And see what we won, what we didn't win. There we go. Roma were top 5. Oh, we finished on the same points as Roma. So it's done on goal difference because, yeah, they had one more goal difference than us. But we won 5. Obviously, we beat Roma 4-1 at home, but we lost against them 6-1 when we went away. 6-1. Bad result.
That cost us, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Some very tight groups, though, I noticed, like Man City, Barcelona, PSG, Man United. Some tasty groups going on there. But yeah, we come up bad against Roma. Not bad, though. We still did alright. Liverpool won. Oh my god, they've won 3 in a row. Ugh, that makes me feel horrendous. Being Real Madrid there in the final. Let's take a look at the squad then. 29 goals from Musa Barrow. Is that good or no? Because if you remember rightly, when it was both Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings, they were both getting roughly about 30.
Yeah.
Souček's down to 22 goals with 12 assists as well. That's kind of dropped off. Has it dropped off, or have we just defended better? But also, I don't know. It's very, very tough to tell, really.
It's his first season. I'll take it first season.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be happy with that because it's more than a goal every other game. Yeah. It's just obviously the output we were getting beforehand was maybe slightly more, but that was because we did have 2 up top.
Yeah.
So we need to think about, obviously, Leon Bailey's gone on the right hand side.
Didn't we?
Yeah, which I don't know whether that really worked because Leon Bailey didn't exactly have... He had a good rating, just not a lot of goals or assists. Okay, what about transfer-wise then? We've got 62 minutes. It's creeping up.
Yeah.
It's just still not what I was really hoping for as Aston Villa manager, really, with the amount of money that they supposedly had, being as rich as they supposedly are. But okay. 4th season.
Before we go there, I want to give you another funny story.
Okay.
All right. Aston Villa was started off as a church side again, but it was a church cricket team.
All right, yeah.
For some reason, if you go into the English teams, they're all started off as a cricket team. Why did they start as a cricket team? And why did they start a football team? Because they wanted something to do in the winter.
In the winter instead of summer, yeah.
But their first ever game as Aston Villa was against another church team, but it was their rugby team.
Hey?
Yeah. So this church team, they decided to form a rugby team, and we formed a football team, so they played against each other. But the first half they had to play rugby rules, and in the second half they played football rules.
Wow. How was the score kept?
Well, what do you think the score was, and who do you think won?
The rugby team probably won because you'd be terrified.
By how many though?
Well, if they scored like 3 tries,
right,
then they probably had a lot more
I don't know
points.
why they've done the scoring, but it just said they played rugby rules in the first half, football rules in the second half.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just set that question for you. Who do you think won and by what score? Villa won 1-0.
But the football team won 1-0. Yeah. So the rugby team scored no tries?
No.
They are a terrible rugby team. They are a terrible rugby team. They don't deserve to be playing rugby. That is horrendous. Fair enough. Okay. Right, move on to the next season then. Now, we've seen that Crystal Palace came up and got themselves relegated again. So I went for their best player, Michael Olise, who had a relegation release clause in his contract. I think he's phenomenal. I love this guy in this game. We liked him in the Crystal Palace rebuild itself, but I've never been able to buy him properly and use him. Now I want to do that. £43 million was his release clause. It's still a lot of money.
Hit the ground running.
But he has. If he's given us that kind of output every 3 games, you've got to be happy with that.
7.83.
Yeah. 3 goal outputs in 3 games, especially when last season he played 36 in the Premier League and only got 2 goals.
Done it already for us after scoring 3 games.
Yeah, so really good stuff. Now, the other player we signed was Sergio Gomez from Manchester City. It's a guy that they signed in real life recently. He came through Barcelona's youth academy, then went to Dortmund, then Huesca, Manchester City. Now we have signed him instead, so I think this is a good signing. I believe he actually went to Anderlecht at one point, I think, and they started playing him left back.
Yeah.
And they started playing him kind of like Zinchenko at Man City, and that's why Pep Guardiola wanted to buy him. Very cheap signing, but I think he'll be really good in the future. So we bought him, and he can play on that left-hand side at left back and left midfield. The reason why I wanted to sign this guy, not only is he a good backup for Lucas Digne, is because we have changed the tactic. I was not happy with the tactic last season.
No.
I don't think we scored enough goals, so I went for this, a 4-2-3-1, with a little bit of a slight twist. We've got access there for Thomas Souček to score all the goals that he likes to score in that centre midfield on attack. We've got the inverted winger for now our inverted wingers. Michael Olise can play on the left or the right. He has the option to do that. We've got a shadow striker and we've got a DM on defend again with the inverted wing backs, which will help.
DM is going to be our most important player, I think.
Absolutely. And then we've got a couple of players who can play that role. Obviously Thomas Souček, but we want him to play a little bit higher. We've got Kamara, who can play in that role quite well, who I would personally want to play there because I think not only is he really good on the ball, but he's a very good tackler, good midfielder, only 24 years of age. He wants a new deal. We might have to give him a new deal because he is wanted right now. So that is an option there. So if we were to pick the first 11, I hope, this is the reason why I didn't nail anybody in. They would still go with Souček centre midfield on attack and Kamara defensive midfield on defend. And this is what I like. Olise on the right, Bailey on the left, Barrow up top with Buendia in behind. It's a very good. I look at that. I think that's a solid team.
He's good.
He is, but like he needs better goal output. I think that's his trouble.
I think he's struggling in a struggling team at the moment.
Yeah, I think
if he was playing for a better team, from what I've seen out where the moves that he does and all that, I think he's a good player. I'd like him to come to Spurs.
I think he's playing slightly out of position.
Yeah.
Aston Villa as well, possibly. I think at Norwich he was a solid number 10.
Yeah.
And at Villa they've been playing him from the right quite a lot, and that may maybe be a reason why they're slightly hampered there, but I don't really know. So, okay, let's take a look then. What has this tactic done for us so far? Well, we demolished Tottenham 3-1 at Spurs as well. Michael Olise got himself a brace. Then we lost to Brentford. So, Ivan Toney, he scored a goal there. Got his call up for England today as we're recording this.
Congratulations, mate. Well
Good
done.
Stuff. Hope to see him play, and I want to see him at the World Cup. I think
definitely.
he's quality. And Southampton, 2-1. We beat them away from home after going 1-0 down early from a penalty. Buendia and Souček.
Why don't we just talk about a little bit about what you just brought up there, the England squad being picked and that. What do people think about the England squad that's been picked?
It's not being picked on form.
We talked about it for a good hour earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were just, Gareth Southgate, what you doing picking these players who are not even playing for United yet?
Yeah.
I know. So
Sean Maguire sat on the bench for the last 4 games, and they get picked over players who are playing every single week. Jadon Sancho playing really well, doesn't get picked. Jack Grealish does get picked, hasn't played very well since he left Villa.
Yeah. So, give us your thoughts on what you think about the England team. It'd be interesting what you think.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not happy.
No, definitely not. Legia Warsaw is in our Europa League group. Milan, Legia Warsaw and PAOK is the other teams as well.
I'd be disappointed we don't qualify.
Yeah, AC Milan, the Europa League. Interesting. They got a very good team on Football Manager. It's very unique to see them down here. So there we go. Okay. Atletico are the holders as well of this competition right now, which I think Lazio won it the first year. Lazio, Villa, and Atletico Madrid. So we're in amongst the big boys there. But yeah, okay, I'd like to see us qualify quite easily, I would say, but it's just obviously that game against Milan. Maybe we'll end up finishing in 2nd place. Let's simulate this 4th season. 4th season, top 4.
Get in.
Let's go. 69 points, what we finished on last season as well. This time, though, Chelsea didn't pip us on the last day of the season.
Brilliant.
We finally managed to do it.
We're on the way up.
Yes, 69
We
points.
nearly chucked it away, though.
Nearly. Champions League football next year. Very good. We only scored 67 goals. That's the least amount in the top 4 there. Not bad though. Very good. Leeds, even though they finished in 11th, they are still in the Champions League next year. And Fulham, I think that's 2 years in a row that they've done that.
Yeah, and finished probably in the same place 2 years in a row.
Because I think they qualified for Europa League, went out in the group into the EC2 and won it again. I am sure of it. I really think that is exactly what has happened. UEFA Conference League won there. That is mental. And then they've won it again. There you go. They've won it twice. Well, no, that might be the only time they've won it. Chelsea won it. Bloody hell. Chelsea, that's a big drop off. Mental. Okay, right. So that's a good start to what we're looking at here this season. Other competitions, how have we done in Europe? Runners up in Europa League. The competition we've obviously already won, but
don't be an English side. Don't be an English side.
Leeds. Oh no! We just said it, didn't we? We seen it was Leeds. We knew it was Leeds. We knew it. Had to be. Dirty Leeds.
It's good for the British football team.
Yeah. We went 91st minute. Breland Bolo. We went 1-0 up with Thomas Souček in the 2nd minute. Breland Bolo scored in the 19th and the 91st minute. Playing the 4-4-2 like Bielsa would. Is it still Jesse Marsch? He's so good on this game, Jesse Marsch. It's ridiculous. I mean, he ain't bad in real life. I do like Leeds and the way they play and everything, but Jesus, that's mental. They got Kelvin Yeboah up front. If you know, you know. Very good player on this game. Okay, that's just frustrating, isn't it? But never mind. Let's take a look then. Goals. Thomas Souček, top scorer, with only 23.
Good enough.
No. Musa Barrow down to 11.
Yeah.
That is very poor. And Danny Ings got 14. So both our strikers
you think that
very poor.
We haven't scored as many goals as we wanted to, but we finished the odds.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. I really don't understand it. It's just the way some of the games went, I guess. 16 assists there as well from Buendia. I guess like when we were scoring more, we were still losing. Whereas here we're scoring less, but not.
Yeah.
And obviously it's just weird how it works out that way, isn't it? Because we have scored a significantly less amount of goals than what we have done in previous seasons. What have we got money-wise then for the Champions League? 66 million. Again, it's not a lot, is it?
No.
For Champions League.
One good player, really.
One good player, and we've got one season to do something about it. So we'll go forward to that season. Let's see who we bring in. Now, Dad, I needed a striker. We didn't have that much money, so I brought in your Messiah, Heung-min Son.
Love this guy. Absolutely love him.
I like him as well, to be fair. We have brought him in, obviously.
What does he do all the time? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, the mask, innit? Looks fantastic. Love it. So, he can play from the left or the right, or he can play up front, which is where I think I want to use him this season. He's got fantastic off-the-ball movement, and he's a great finisher as well. 18 for finishing. Yeah, great work rate.
Golden Boot winner last season.
Absolutely. So,
scored this season.
£17 million that we brought him in for. He hasn't scored that many goals for Spurs since the simulation began because they haven't been doing very well. No. Obviously, previously, he has done well. We've played in 3 games so far. He's got himself assists. He needs to pick that up, obviously. But I knew you'd like that signing. Yeah, I know he's old. I know he's 33. The Patreon members are going to be like, well, what are we going to do with him for 5 years?
Yeah.
He's still going to be good for a good 3 or 4 years because his natural fitness and stamina is good. He's got a professional personality. So fitness-wise, he'll still be good enough to play. So don't shoot me too much. I think it was still a good signing with the money that we had. I also brought in Anthony from Manchester United, my Messiah.
Yeah.
Nah, he's all right. He hasn't hit the ground running as much as what I hoped. He scored, obviously, in his debut.
Game, I didn't see that game, and apparently people I've spoken to,
well.
Yeah, they say he took his goal well. Looks the part, so...
Did about 15 celebrations after, and started to annoy the fans. I loved it, but yeah, he's just really passionate and always wanted to play for Man United, so I liked it. He's quality on the game, though. Really good player. We signed him previously, I think, before he signed for Man United on a different rebuild. £29 million. We've played him 0 times yet. He picked up an injury really early on in the start of the season, and it's something that I actually wanted to show. So if we take a look at injury history, this season alone, if we take a look from... I guess it's from what are we on, 2025? Yeah, so from from the Anthony, major hamstring strain in a game. Another one there for Philip Coutinho. Emi Martinez, goalkeeper, he was out for 11 days as well. And Thomas Souček was out for 4 weeks. All at the very start of the season. So we are missing a lot of our players. Michael Elise missed the start of the season, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
We're missing a lot of them. It's not been great. In the last 12 months, Michael Elise has missed 73. Coutinho, 74. It's been bad for us, really. Tactically, we'll take a look. We are sticking with what we had previously. It got us into the Champions League. We'd be silly to change it around, I think. Souček in that role, just to make sure he plays every single game in there. But I'm leaving the front three free. As much as I want Heung-min Son to be playing as he advanced forward, and he will, I think, be picked as long as everybody else is fit for the wings, because if I went best 11, for instance, it does pick Son on there, but you can obviously flick them around sometimes. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway, with just those two switched around like that. Maybe Anthony and Leon Bailey coming on as well. I think we've got a great squad for this Champions League. So let's take a look at our group and the games we've played so far. Now, bearing in mind, we've had the injuries. We've played Liverpool and Arsenal, and we still haven't done too bad, especially when we got a red card as well. So we had suspensions, injuries, and red cards, obviously. So 2-0 against Liverpool, 1-1 against Sheffield United, which is not good. We scored in the first minute, but conceded in the 81st. And then the Arsenal game, obviously, it's not great. But they do have a good team. We scored in the first minute, but the injuries are going to take its toll, obviously. Our Champions League group, Dad. Inter Milan, Leipzig, Copenhagen.
Tricky one.
It is.
Tricky one.
Should we go through in that?
Second or third, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to be looking at it.
Yeah, I'd like to think we'd finish above the Danes.
Yeah, you'd like to think you would. Leipzig's the one in it. You've got to get a result. Win your own games, obviously, like I always say.
Yeah.
You've got to get a result, one good result away from home.
Yeah.
Put us in that second place.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if it's against Leipzig.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest, trickiest teams on the game, I think, when you're not controlling them. Because one time they will drop completely out the top 4 of Bundesliga and you will never see them. And the other time they'll win the Champions League.
Yeah.
They've won the Champions League on rebuilds before. It is possible that because if they keep all of their good players, they turn out to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Before we go, last fact for you. Aston Villa in 1889 were the first team to employ a manager.
What did they do before?
Well, to employ, pay.
Right, okay. Oh, okay.
Villa was the first team ever to pay for someone to be a manager of their team.
So people just did it for free before.
Well, they did, didn't they? But before everybody went professional, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
So you start someone who's the first professional player.
Yeah.
I don't know, £100 a year.
That's mental, isn't it? I bet it was quite a lot of money back then.
It's a Scotsman called George Ramsay, actually.
Yeah.
And he actually helped Villa start.
Yeah.
As he come along to a game or watch a game or something like that. He come down from Scotland and started watching a game, and then got involved with the players, and he played, and they thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And he was very close control and all that, so he helped them perform. They made him automatic captain of the team.
Right.
And then later on, they advertised for a manager, and he applied for it, and the committee said, we can't give it to anybody else.
No.
You've been a revelation to our players. You've been a captain. Now you're going to be a manager.
Yeah.
And he was there for, I think, 40 odd years.
And look what he did, because when we won the league, 1900.
Yeah. When he was taken on as manager, his next year, he won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And then he went on to win back-to-back league titles as well in 1896 and 1897.
Yeah.
But he was there for a few many years.
Wow.
Good servant to the club, really.
Very, very. Was he classed as one of the legends there? George Ramsay. There he is. He's classed as a legend of the club. Yeah. Alongside Paul McGrath.
Another legend, though.
Very good player. Very good player. Okay, 5th and final season then. What can we do? Let's find out. Final season. 13th. 13th place.
He was up there and winning.
Yeah. We crashed massively.
What went wrong then? What went wrong?
Well, the end of the season did not look great at all. 46 points in total. So that's less than 20 where we were in previous seasons, obviously, where we're finishing around about 69 mark a couple of seasons in a row. Even Tottenham finished above us this season, and we pinched Heung-min Son, their only good player.
So we lost more games than we won this season.
Yeah, that's a very bad. Well, we lost more than what we did draw or win.
Yeah.
Not great at all. We lost to some bad teams as well, some good ones. Not great finishing in 13th place, though it is your lucky number.
Yeah.
There's one thing to take from it, positive. Probably not. Competitions, though, how have we done? Liverpool's won the league 4 times in a row as well. And the Champions League so many times. It's very depressing for me, this one. Competitions, then. Oh, runners-up. at the Carabao Cup.
Our favourite.
We don't care about the Carabao Cup. It doesn't matter that we lost the Carabao Cup. We got through the Champions League, though. First round knockout by Barcelona. So at least we got Barcelona turn up at Villa Park.
You can't moan about that, can you?
No.
We qualified, got through.
Liverpool beat us in the bloody cup final as well. Very annoying. I bet they... Oh, no, don't say they won the FA Cup as well. Oh, thank God, Chelsea. I am not letting them take the treble. No, sirree. Because they might have done, to be fair. If we take a look, because they've won the league. Oh, they've done it, and because they've won the FA Cup. First season, 2023. Please tell me it was somebody different. Oh, they've done it. Yeah, they've bloody done it. It's Champions League 2023. They've done the Sir Alex treble.
Yeah.
I hate this rebuild. I hate it. Real Madrid won the Champions League, though,
Barcelona, so Barcelona went on to get to the final.
An El Clasico final there. Yeah, after Liverpool won 4 in a row. Ugly. Group stage, then I want to see how we did before we look at the first round. Us and Leipzig went through. We knocked out Inter Milan.
Isn't it? That is a surprise.
Yeah, we won 2, drew 2, lost 2. Who did we lose to against? Inter and Leipzig, both 3-1 away from home. We drew 2. Home games, we drew 2 home games, Dad. Not good. We could have gone through as top if we sorted those results out. Not fantastic. And then if we have a look at the first round knockout stage, where we faced Barcelona... Oh, we beat them 3-0 in the first leg. Beat them 3-0 in the home game. And lost 7-0 away. Went to the new camp thinking, we're 3-0 up, lads. Who we got in the next round? Nobody, you're going home. You lost 7-0.
You need more than 3 to go to me in Barcelona, do you?
Yeah, so that's disappointing. Real Madrid almost got knocked out in the first round knockout. They had to win on penalties as well. Oh, that's so disappointing. I wonder who's got Souček again. It's a good job we signed Souček. We'd have no one scoring any goals if it weren't for Souček.
I think we let ourselves down on the strikers, really, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. Heung-min Son only got 7. Really poor. Did he play from the left a lot? Maybe that might have been the reason why. Oh, he hasn't played for ages. Look how long he's been injured out for. Wow, he's been injured since February. That is a big injury. Broke his ankle. Oh, Hyun. Oh, it's devastating. Versus Barcelona. That's why we lost 6-7-0. We were devastated. Oh, I'm devastated for him. I'm gutted. Well, there's only 2 more things to ask, Dad. What's the food like at Villa Park?
Yeah.
Is it nice?
I should have asked my mate. He goes to...
Is he frequent?
Yeah, he goes to quite a few Villa games.
Yeah, what is the food like at Villa Park? Let us know down in the comments section. Also, Dad, what is the challenge for the Patreon members on the £5 tier? I think they got a bit of a job on their hands here.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm going to make the challenge a little bit easier. I'm just going to put you a challenge to get back to the top 4.
Yeah, get us back in that top 4. That's the best position
we got to, is the top 4. So see if you can beat us and get into the top 3 then, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
We won a cup, so along your way, try and win me the FA Cup. I always say that. Try and win me the FA Cup.
Nobody cares about the League Cup. We only did once.
The biggest challenge for you is to beat us by getting into the top 3.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a hard challenge.
Absolutely. So that is on the Patreon. £5 tier.
A good team
no.
this time.
It's a good team. It's just probably
what money they're going to have to play with next season?
Money they've got the most, of course it is, £70 million. And they're not even in Champions League. So they get 70 million.
You got a good transfer fee coming through.
Yeah.
You might have to sell a few players as well.
See what you can do. You've got an okay squad, to be fair. It's just a couple of them are aging now. Yeah. So that is basically your task on the £5 tier on page.com/Omega Loop Gaming. Thank you very much to all my Patreon members. Remember to let us know down in the comments about the food, everything like that we've referenced in today's episode. Check out, of course, Manscaped and the link down there.
Get what you think about the England squad.
And the England squad. And use the code as well, should you wish to pre-order Football Manager 2023. It comes out 8th of November, but you get beta access with pre-ordering it. It'll give you a Steam code. It's just like buying it from Steam. It's just cheaper. So you might as well. 2game.com. Use the code Omega at checkout for that extra discount. And it's cheaper than using Steam. Thank you to everybody who is using it. Right. Okay. We'll see you next Monday for another rebuild. Bye-bye.